Hi, everyone, and welcome to Divine Resolution Tarot. For those of you who are new, thank you so very much for giving me the chance to read for you. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. This is a twin flame reading for the Twin Flame Collective for the month of July. I've shuffled your deck and pulled your cards, and I'm seeing a lot here. Okay, so bottom of your deck, it looks to me as though the masculine was in the energy of being kind of smug here, right? It's almost like the masculine has been on this, and as I'm saying masculine, please know that this can be physically a feminine or someone who identifies as a feminine energy. Does not matter, okay? So take it how it fits. But this person, they it's almost like they released the feminine, and it's because they didn't want to deal with some sort of conflict, but it wasn't a conflict that the feminine created, is what I'm seeing here. This is looking like the masculine stepped outside of the connection because there was a chance either for union, you guys were speaking or spending time together. If you were not spending a lot of time together, you were speaking, and this person was making it seem like you as the feminine had a very significant place in their life, or that they were open to having you in their life. And then very suddenly that changed. It changed because initially it looked like there was kind of an invitation for like spending time together or something along the lines of like, hey, I miss your presence in my life. And that could have been, even maybe even nine to 10 months ago. This happened a while ago. But what happened was that this was after a period of the masculine kind of ignoring the feminine, right? And the way that the masculine came back in, it looked like it was really only for sex, is kind of what I'm seeing here. It looks like this person, this masculine energy, didn't come off in a way that made the feminine feel like this was going to go anywhere. Whatever the offer was, it changed. Like initially it was like, hey, I miss hanging out with you. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, let's talk about the last time we were together, or I'm having all these thoughts about the last time we were together. And I feel like that really raised the feminine's alarms, right? Or kind of made you put up your walls, because it's like, okay, this looks like so much of what I've already seen before. I see that the masculine still isn't valuing the connection, right? Because he or she is coming at this in like a really low vibrational way, or treating me like they can just dust me off when other things aren't working, because it looks like they were doing something else and it didn't work. And if they were doing something else, it also looks like they were trying to make it public enough for you to see. And so when that didn't work, it's like, oh, I miss hanging out with you. Also, let's have sex. And feminine took this as the masculine being like kind of narcissistic, kind of selfish, right? Of feeling like the masculine was trying to use you as some sort of rebound, or was like trying to use you as a placeholder until whoever they were dealing with came back or they found someone new. Really, what it was is that the feminine felt like the masculine was trying to refill his cup, right? He or she went off and did something that made them feel very empty. And so they came back to the feminine and was like, oh, hey, are you available to give me your energy? This was really triggering for feminine. And so feminine, looks like you cut that off very, very abruptly. Perhaps you didn't bother to even reply, or, you didn't give the masculine the answer they wanted. I'm seeing that for sure. For some of you, you could have already started dating someone new because it looks like they were gone for so long. Or it's very possible too that you just kind of blew them off, like, hey, I'm working on myself. I don't really have time to be whatever you need me to be when you're never around. Now, whatever message you gave this person in the past, because of this situation, they perceived it as like rejection, right? They didn't really take it into account the way that they've been behaving. And so they moved into this space of the Five of Swords, where they had this like knee-jerk reaction and their ego flared up. And what's really interesting to me is I feel like for you feminine, when you were not accepting the offer, right? Whatever the offer was that they gave you, you still met them with love, because I got this Ace of Cups here. You know, you were still like, hey, I care about you, but this, whatever you're proposing, it doesn't look like it's going to get me any closer to what I want, right? So rather than this person looking at that and being like, hey, you know what? I am trying to use my feminine to get over a connection, you know, or I am trying to use my feminine to just kind of make me feel better about my own bad choices. My feminine is being the bigger person by still extending friendship or love, but protecting themselves, right? And they need to protect themselves from me because I hurt them often and make poor decisions. Your masculine got really upset. I don't think that this is something that was communicated to you though, because it just wasn't. You know, they looked at it like, how dare you? You know, I'm down on my luck. I'm not feeling good. This other person hurt my feelings and you're not here to pick me up. I'm going to punish you, right? I'm going to punish you by either getting back with whoever this old person is, or I'm going to find someone new. But I want you to see the error of your ways, right? There was that fleeting moment that I was willing to pay attention to you. And because you didn't drop everything to come make me feel better, now you get to pay the price. So it looks as though the masculine went on to commit to someone else or to give attention to someone else as a way to redeem themselves or to fill their cup, make themselves look like a better person, feel like a better person. But what I want you to understand, if you're watching them with someone else, is that this was all by design. It's like they couldn't get you to do what they wanted you to do or what they were used to doing, which probably was like wiping the slate clean, starting over with them because they were back or they were hurting. And so now they want you to feel foolish. They want you to understand that they don't need you, because to them, they're not seeing the big picture. They're looking at it like, I was in a moment of weakness. I felt bad and you shut me down. So now you get to watch me give all my love to someone else, right? They don't particularly seem to see a future with this person, whoever they're dealing with. They just are using this person so that you understand that you don't matter to them, or that they don't need you, that they've moved on from you. So it's kind of a double-edged sword because they are using this person as a rebound for whoever this was way back when. But they're also using this person to show you that like you don't have any power over them. You're not the only one that can heal them. Your connection isn't that deep. They can easily replace you, right? It's a very childish energy. So I'm sorry for those of you who are going through that right now, especially because I see that when this person was hurting because of something that really had nothing to do with you, a situation they created when they were running from your connection. You know, you still try to be the bigger person, but you love yourself enough with what I'm seeing here. You've really been pouring onto yourself. You love yourself enough to set the boundary of like, I'm not just going to let you come in and out or use me, right? And instead of them really internalizing what you're saying and thinking about it and being like, you know what, you're right, I'm really sorry to do that, they just went off and acted so childish, you know? So as we're moving into July, you got the Four of Pentacles in the reverse for what they're showing you. So it looks like they're doing their best to try to show you that they don't need you. They're creating something with someone else in a very public way. Now, if they're not with one particular person, that could be that they're dealing with multiple people. It looks like there is one person that they're just using to try to make you jealous or to make it seem like they're living their best life. But the goal here is to make you feel like you're not valuable. Because if you think about it, when you set that boundary of like, hey, I don't want this, I can't have this be anything that I've seen before. And because I don't trust you to not create what we've been creating, I'm going to have to go with no at this time, right? They want you to feel like you aren't worth it, right? And it's solely because they picked up on the fact that your self-esteem has grown, that you're holding yourself in like a high regard. And so it's their way of trying to diminish that, because I feel like it's very subconscious, but they know that when you didn't feel good about yourself, you are more apt to put up with them, right? And so they're kind of hoping that they still have some kind of hold on you, that their actions will affect you in a way that makes you feel like you're less than. And then it's easier for them to come back with kind of the same bullshit they've shown you and not really change, but that you'll be in a space of just being so grateful that they have now made you a priority, or that they're willing to pay attention to you, that you will abandon your new rules, or your, vision for yourself, or what you're willing to stand on, right? This person is trying to undermine your relationship with yourself, which unfortunately is still so incredibly toxic, right? But I think that you know that about this person, whether you consciously have like figured out that's what they're doing, or subconsciously you're just like, something about this is just so off. I have to focus on something else, right? Now, for your feminine cards, you got we need to talk. I miss you so much. Why do you shut me out? Bottom of your deck is I forgive you in the reverse. So, what I like about this for you, feminine, is like you drew a line in the sand and you've gotten comfortable with where you're at in this relationship, right? Or in this connection. Like, you know how you feel, but you also know what you are not willing to put up with, or like what line you're not willing to cross. And one thing that's very prevalent is that you're not willing to tell this person how much you love them. You're not willing to go the distance for this person, or offer them forgiveness when they've never apologized, because you're like, this isn't fair, right? I feel so betrayed by you. You need to fix this. So I love that you're in a space, or in July, you will be in a space of being very clear about what you need and what you're willing to give and not give, right? Like, this is as far as I go. I can tell you all of the things that I feel, but at the end of the day, I'm not making any action towards you until you really step up and fix what's broken, right? Like, if this were a bank, right, this person's account would be so far overdrawn that the bank would have closed their account. There's no way they could keep making withdrawals, right? And so that's kind of what this is where you're like, okay, there's this huge debt that you have to me. And I don't think you're like holding it over their head, but if we were looking at this in a transactional way, you're not allowing this person to make any emotional withdrawals until they start making deposits into the bank that is this relationship, right? Now, as for the masculine energy, their cards are coming through with, I want you reversed. You make me so happy. I know you're worried about me, maturity in the reverse, and gifts. So what this is making me feel like is that they are going to, with this Four of Pentacles, very possibly try to tell you what they've been working on sometime this month. And a big reason for that is because they are not trying to clue you in because they care or they miss you so much. This is like, I went off and I did something yet again that's not fulfilling. It's not making me happy, right? And I did it because I wanted you to know that I was letting you go, or that you were unimportant, but I'm not getting the reaction from you that I want. So now I need to tell you about the things that I'm doing, right? Because maybe you just haven't been watching me, or maybe you're too busy. So I need you to be aware of the fact that I am with someone else, or that I'm giving my attention to someone else. Could we be friends, right? Let's try to be friends, because I love what you bring into my life. I know that you really care about me, but I can't have anything else because I'm with someone else, right? I need you to understand the reason they're doing this is simply because they want you to have a front row seat to what they're doing. Because in the time they've been doing whatever this is, you've found no motivation to like move towards them whatsoever, right? Because Wheel of Fortune in the reverse is how you're perceiving this whole situation. So it's like, until I get what I want, I will stay right where I am. I will be alone before I settle for whatever you would call this, right? And they realize that you're not giving them the reaction that they want. They realize that you're not budging. So they need to get closer to you so that they can be certain that you're able to see what they're doing. Okay. I don't feel like they're going to stop doing what they're doing. I feel like if anything, they're going to come in with this Temperance, Magician in the reverse, Seven of Wands in the reverse, because they see that nothing has worked so far. They feel like maybe it's because you're just not paying attention. So it's kind of like the child being like, look at me, look what I can do, right? I need you to pay attention to me so that I can do things to hurt your feelings and know that you're seeing them because we're friends now. Or I want to be able to talk to you about my problems now because that's my way of digging into you and letting you know that there's someone else that I'm sad about, or I'm really trying to make this relationship over here work. And we've always had such a good friendship and you've always given such good advice. You know, I don't want to lose you in my life, right? But I also need you to understand I'm over here with someone else, okay? Bottom of their deck, I didn't know how to tell you. So they're going to try to tell you everything, right? In a way that I think they realize you will not want to hear this. These are things that would make you uncomfortable if you were to allow this very strange dynamic. And it's very possible with the ex being reversed and promises and quality time that this is the kind of person that after a relationship or a breakup, they keep people, right? They still spend time with exes. They still spend time with karmic partners, even if they're not having a relationship with them. They try to keep them as friends. And so this is what they try to do to you is like, oh, I'm going to friend zone you. But it's really my way of giving you a seat right in the front and center so that I know that you're seeing what I'm doing now, right? The reason for this is I don't know how to fix this. I think of you often, and I don't understand why you love me, okay? They are not in a space in July of trying to fix this relationship because they feel like they are right. They feel like they need you to understand that they're not coming back to you. And that's solely because you did not take the bait back whenever, you know, I saw that they extended an offer to hook up, right? Or whatever. As far as you go for the month of July, I like how this is affecting you because you're in the Knight of Pentacles energy. So you know what you want, right? You know what you're willing to give. You know what you're not willing to give. And you're staying exactly where you are, right? Where it's like, if you want any piece of me or my time or attention, you need to come to me and you need to come to me correctly. And because of that, that's creating the world for this relationship, right? So it looks like there's at least two things in this dynamic that need to completely end. My guess is it's the relationship that it looks like they're in that they want you to suddenly be some sort of like counselor or guide for. And it's also probably the way that your relationship with this person has been going. Could also be that there's still other people outside of this new person that need to be released as well, right? So let's clarify the world to take a look at what's, wow, Four of Pentacles reversed. So you got your Four of Pentacles reversed on top of your Four of Pentacles reversed. So I want you to understand that when this person gives you this this confession of like, hey, you know, I just really miss your friendship. I'm doing something else with someone else, but I want you in my life. I want us to be friends. That's probably going to happen more so towards the middle of the month. In the beginning of the month, you're going to see this person trying to piss you off and make it look like they don't care about you at all. And when that doesn't work, that's when the second Four of Pentacles is activated. And that's when the confession happens of like, oh, you know, and they might even come in like, everything I do with everyone else is wrong, you know, and you're the only person that's ever seen my value, but I'm still with all these other people though. I'm not with you. I'm just noticing, you know, that you build me up. So maybe they'll give you that, right? In the meantime, when this second Four of Pentacles is activated and you get kind of this like weird message, whether they're like drunk or whatever, I want you to understand that whatever's going on in the connection they're in, it's not working out for them again. And that's a big part of why they're trying to get you into the front row of this, because they understand that it's not going to last much longer and they really need you to see the show. Okay. They know that what they're working on is falling apart. They ended up there under the assumption that this relationship would motivate you to like do something, like make an action towards them because it was, making you jealous or wearing down your self-esteem to the point you would put up with this. And when that didn't happen, I think the person that they're dealing with, Four of Cups, they might know about you, right? Because they are talking to their friends and telling them, like, I think masculine's only dealing with me because I'm a rebound. Or it seems really weird that masculine deals with me and wants to like post all this stuff to make it very public that we're hanging out, but then like they never text back in real life or they don't really talk to me on a daily basis. So the person that they're dealing with is actually starting to feel ignored and they're starting to feel used and suspicious of what masculine's motives are. So what's really interesting is your Knight of Pentacles, this person that they're dealing with is moving into Knight of Pentacles in July. So there's two people who are like, this is where I'm drawing the line, right? I'm not going past anything. Like, you need to start reciprocating. I don't know what you're doing, right? And it's funny because the universe is using all these other people that your masculine is trying to give attention to keep reiterating and bringing home the same message that you will be saying to them this month, right? The universe is not allowing your masculine to have any kind of new beginning, even if it looked like it for a minute, because this is a very big lesson that they need to learn, right? And so regardless of who they are with or what they are doing, the end result is always going to be, you need to figure out what you're doing. You need to pay the debt that you owe. I feel used, because that's what they do. They use people, right? So this is your reading for the month. I'm going to take a look in the extended at the future energy of this, because I feel like with this world coming out for July, there's going to be a really big blow up between the masculine and whoever they're dealing with at this time, because this person feels like they don't deserve the way that they're being treated. I also feel like when this masculine comes in and has some kind of like, oh, I wish we could be friends, I miss hanging out with you, but also I'm not available, I'm taken. I want to see what that creates for your future, right? If you were to go for that or not go for it, I want to see what will happen with that. So we're going to take a look at that kind of thing, what the masculine will be showing in the future and why, how that's going to affect you, right? In your personal everyday life, autonomously from whoever you're dealing with, right? This masculine. So we're going to be looking at future energies with the karmic or whoever they're with, future energies with you, and get some advice for you. So feel free to join me. The link is in the description box below. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you, and stay tuned for the extended reading preview after this. Hi there, and welcome to your extended July Twinflame reading. So guys, I've shuffled your deck, I've pulled your cards, and this is kind of a roller coaster of emotions here. We're going to start, let's figure out the best place to start because there's a lot going on. What I will say is that after a lot of ups and downs is what this looks like, you will be happy, okay? So let's start at the beginning. King of Pentacles in the reverse. For your energy, you've got, why can't you love just me? But that's coming out in the reverse. I've changed so much. My heart is broken reverse, and I am so angry. As far as your masculine, we've got freedom, liaisons reversed, humiliation reversed. I don't know how to fix this in the reverse. I'm trying to change in the reverse. I made so many mistakes upright and I didn't know how to love you in the upright for the bottom of your deck. Bottom of feminine is I can't do this again, not like this. And that's actually coming out reversed. So that is what you got for Twin Flame Oracle cards. Let's get into the tarot. So King of Pentacles reversed for what they're showing you in the future, coupled with regrets and conversations. Now, for those of you who think that whatever this masculine is doing is like the real deal and they're really into this person, whoever this is, I promise you that is absolutely not the case. In the future,